welcome this morning.
Yes, you're only 5 and 9.
Mrs. Sweetie, got lovely hairy arms.
Look, do you intend to help me with this lot?
I need to think they're all people as well, isn't it? Milkmen, teeth cake collectors, window cleaners.
They're probably robots, really. Somebody takes them out of their boxes every morning and sends them trundling off to do all the horrid jobs. Look, you could butter this lot.
I ought to ring my mother. They're off tomorrow and I said I'd go to the airport. Daddy's adorable the last few days before they go on holiday. Thinks the bank will dissolve into chaos whilst he's away.
Look to a library book in the bath, Sue. I'm sorry.
Well, you better tell me then. I'm not going to do the explaining.
I'm awfully sorry.
Oh, you needn't grovel.
It was so boring that I fell asleep. I hate these new writers. He's the sort of person who thinks, have you read Winnie the Pooh when you were little, or Class Henry?
Did you?
I loved it. And so did you.
I've always been hazy about what he's supposed to mean, class enemy.
It's jargon for people who've got what you want.
Shall I put some cups and saucers out?
It would help.
No! Did you do one more thing, honestly?
It's an accident.
Oh, but you're so careless.
I would have thought it was part of the definition of an accident that you can't anticipate it.
She's a blundering
Oh,
menace.
there's some more. It isn't a tragedy.
Scandal's getting broken. There's not mine, you know.
It's Sue.
Funny how you never seem to break any of your own things, always somebody else's. Damn glad when Robin and I get married. I can't wait to get 4 solid walls between me and people like you.
Robin's a nit.
Isn't he? I think all the interesting men have been liquidated by some secret organisation.
Don't you like Ian anymore?
Oh, it's all right. But we bore each other. We're quite honest about it. The trouble is, everyone else is just as boring, so we might as well hang on.
I'm not sure it was a good idea to ask all 3 of them to tea.
Oh, are you frightened your Nicholas may not fit in?
Why shouldn't he fit in?
No reason at all. It was you I was thinking of. You're so anxious about people, Biddy.
No, I'm an anxious person. I find life very precarious. At least I did until I met Nicholas. It's different now. Isn't it lovely and hot?
If you like heat. Makes me frigid, I don't know why.
Sexually or socially?
Either way, it's the only thing that shakes Ian out of his torpor. I've had enough of these bed now, marry later relationships.
Do you ever wish you'd started a proper career?
Are you kidding? London's swarming with women graduates wondering what to do with their education. I shall turn up at a register office one day with Ian between my teeth. Like a spaniel with a dead pheasant.
Oh, Christine, you make it sound awful.
It is awful. Never mind. Que sera, sera.
Could I borrow a needle and cotton? I've lost mine.
Yes. Top left-hand drawer of my dressing table. And tell that Daisy so-and-so she can come and make the lemonade.
Anything exciting going on in the world?
The usual.
Are Christine's needles in here?
Cigarette tin.
Well, what's going on then?
Oh, they're knocking hell out of each other somewhere in Africa. Ghastly pictures of some kids in the Hong Kong gutter.
Oh, that reminds me. You promised to give me some old clothes for that refugee thing I told you about.
A review of what's his name's new film.
What time did you tell Robin?
3:30. There's a recipe for risotto in the other paper.
I don't like it.
I'm going to spit in Christine's eye one of these days.
Why?
Oh, you're so dim, Biddy. She makes me boil. I should have thought it part of the definition of an accident that you can't anticipate it.
You can't expect 3 people to live together in perfect harmony all the time.
Not 3 women, anyway. Men seem to be better at it. Men are better at everything, if you ask me. Emancipation just isn't natural. I wish it was time for them to arrive now. I shall flirt with the engraver. You watch.
Nothing wants you to make some lemonade.
Does she? How's your father's case coming on?
The little man whose wife keeps locking him out.
I suppose that's the one I meant.
Your daddy's hating it. Thinks he ought to show more guts. It's all rather squalid.
What's the time?
Nearly 2.
What does Nicholas think of Robin and Ian?
I've never asked him.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't be so prissy.
You are always accusing me of being things I am not, Prissy.
Don't get huffy. I just like to see you on the defensive, that's all.
Well, it embarrasses me.
Wait to get away from this place.
You as well.
What do you mean, me as well?
I think Christine feels the same way. I must be the only one who's happy here.
See what I mean, Prissy?
I think on the whole I tend to reduce the amount of tension in this flat.
There. Roll on tea time. Well, I'm off to squeeze the lemons. Wish I was off to Corsica with the parents. Robin has 2 weeks in September. We might go to Ibiza.
I loathed Spain last year. Probably because I had diarrhea most of the time. The sky is nearly white with the heat. You can smell the tar melting in the road. I wonder what Nicholas sees in you. I suppose we hardly know each other. I don't know if he's a tea sort of person. That lime tree is lovely. There's a drunken man going through the square. I think you spoiled everything.
I'll bet Ian's the first to arrive. He's very punctual. Like a lot of people who have nothing to do with themselves half the time. These are dying. It's a cheat.
Seems funny paying for flowers somehow.
I got them from that man on the corner. He looks shifty. And he was quarrelling with that woman who's got the other stand by the tube station. Talk about dog eat dog. I really don't feel very sociable today. Can't we ring them all up and tell them to stay away?
Do you like my new bra?
I haven't seen it.
I mean, the shape, idiot.
Yes, it's quite erotic, isn't it?
Robin's got a fixation.
Pity every male baby can't be wet nursed on some great fat peasant girl and get it over with.
If I have any kids, they get in the bottle.
I'd like about 8 and I'm going to feed them myself.
How dreary can you get?
Don't you want any then?
They're even more boring than adults. What are they for, anyway?
I sometimes wonder what you want out of life.
Me? Just to get through it with as little inconvenience as possible.
There must be such a lot of marvellous things happening in the world.
Where? 90% of the people in it should have been gassed at birth. God, think of China. 600 million.
And India.
Bad enough in London.
I can't see the point in most people's existence at all.
A nightmare. I wish somebody would wave a wand and make most of them disappear.
We've got this typist at work. All bouffant hair and sticky eyelashes. She speaks with that sort of cockney whine, you know. I give her something to do at 5:20. No! The lives they must lead.
Do you mind?
I'm hungry. We had this maid come down here when I was little. And she always made me leave a clean plate because of the coolies. I used to wonder how I could help the coolies if I ate all my food. What's one supposed to do?
What can one do?
I mean, you can't exactly shed tears for starving Asians every time you take a mouthful, can you? Not that I don't care.
I wish I was out in a boat on Regent's Park Lake. Nicholas knows all about the different kinds of ducks.
Bully for Nicholas.
What do you and Nicholas do?
What do you mean, do?
Where does he take you? What do you talk about? He's called for you here 3 times and he's barely said a word to me.
If he talks and he's got something to say. Better than Robin rehashing the Times, anyway.
Now don't start getting up, Robin.
You were getting in Nicholas.
Have you noticed the way he stares at everything? The last time he came and Biddy was still getting dressed, he just wandered round the room staring. Gave me the creeps.
He's probably short-sighted. Don't be tedious, you two.
does Ian go back to the oil wells and things?
October.
Seems terribly well off. Will you go back with him?
I don't know. I don't want to leave London. He's going to buy a house in England anyway.
No in particular.
I don't know. Anywhere in the adultery belt. Well, I assume he will get round to other women eventually. Just as I assume I will get round to other men. One has to stay sane somehow.
Why do you pretend to be so cynical?
There's no pretense about it. But actually, I'm not cynical. I am civilized. What is the time?
3:25. Civilized?
I dare say there is a beast within, but I can't say it's madly clamouring to be let out.
Do you ever try to imagine what it will all be like
Well, what?
when they're all civilized?
There.
You know what I mean.
Oh, for God's sake.
Makes me uneasy.
Japanese in bowler hats.
He goes with briefcases.
Eskimos getting their whales on easy terms.
Headhunters and candles.
Aborigines flying to Switzerland for termination of pregnancy. Now she's hurt.
Oh, she's too moony.
Probably that nerve.
Nicholas.
Billy's the sort of person who nearly goes into convulsions trying to make herself interesting. A lot of women are like that. To hell with the rest of creation anyway. We've made it. And look at it. sulking, rather.
A funny girl. Is, what's his name?
Nicholas.
Yes, Nicholas. Is he going?
Supposed to be.
Curious manner he has.
I was saying to Christine...
Never gives anything away, speaks when spoken to. Do you think he finds us catastrophic?
Us?
Well, I mean...
Come off it, Christine.
I don't like that word.
What word do you like then?
Me.
I bet it's a different story when you're with Ian.
No, Christine is quite right. Antagonism is a natural state. There was an interesting leader in the Times last
Oh,
week
it's
about...
too hot, Robin, honestly.
Not that you ever opened a newspaper, of course.
I wonder why it's warm in the summer and cold in the winter.
Oh, you're quite unbelievably ignorant, Sue. It's to do with the Earth's axis.
Who gives a damn about those sort of things anyway?
Well, it was you who asked the question.
The earth can fall into the sun for all I care.
Well, the news isn't good today. I suppose everyone's affected, even if it's in the jolly old subconscious.
What news?
The incipient crisis.
If 9 out of 10 situations are critical, they can't be.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing.
I wish everyone would get their stupid revolutions over with and settle down.
It isn't a revolution.
Well, whatever it is then, what does it matter what it is?
I was referring, as a matter of fact, to the state of the country's economy.
You would be, wouldn't you?
I wonder what Nicholas does for a living.
Probably something ghastly.
Have you noticed that slight inflection in the way he speaks? Not an accent, precisely. From the north, I should say.
Even more ghastly.
I do like to know who people are, where they come from, what they do. I feel embarrassed if I'm in the dark. Though, of course, it may just be that he's shy. This is awfully nice lemonade.
I made it.
Oh. It's nice and cool. Think of all those hideous people boiling in their cars between London and the coast. Think of the jams, the sweat. Take a lot to prize me out of London in this weather.
I like making lemonade. I like squeezing lemons. I suppose that's full of hidden significance.
Silly. Hello, Bear. How's things?
Not bad.
Oh, not bad.
The sandwiches are curling. The lettuce looks as if it's been pressed in a Bible for about half a century.
For God's sake, let's eat them if the others don't come soon.
How's Nicholas, Biddy?
Oh, fine, thanks. How's your rotten old office?
Oh, limping along, we keep going. How's your rotten old office?
Oh, we've got a neurotic computer. I gave it a calculation the other week and I had to pull the plugs out. It just kept chattering on.
Robin was just saying how shy Nicholas is.
Is he?
It was more of a, well, a speculation.
Do you think everywhere is going to be like it is here, Robin? Eventually.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised,
That's what I think.
given the status quo.
What a relief.
There's nothing fortuitous about it. Everybody wants the same things, and technology's the answer. Bound to be teething troubles, of course.
Nicholas gets awfully worked up about the animals.
Oh, really? That's very touching.
Screwy!
Why?
Oh, for goodness sake, they've got reservations and things to live in.
Who's got reservations to live in?
The animals.
Thought you were talking about the Red Indians.
Biddy is being all peculiar and sensitive this weekend. It's her way of being romantic, isn't it, love?
You don't like Nicholas, do you?
Who said anything about Nicholas?
You imply.
You mean you interpreted?
Oh, of course, you're so polite. You say everything by innuendo.
Not me, Biddy, hardly me. I've only just arrived, for God's sake.
The mysterious Nicholas. Old Nick.
I do wish somebody put me in the picture.
Biddy feels persecuted.
I do not.
After all, it is your first serious thing, isn't it?
He's afraid of us.
Of you and Christine? That's a good one.
Now, girl.
Wouldn't it be nice to have a private swimming pool?
Wouldn't it be lovely? In the square. We could dive off the balcony.
That's my ambition. Private everything. House at Headley, bloody great wall round it, gadgets to do all the work, and then...
And then?
Nirvana.
Please.
What we really need is the perfect robot servant. Then the masses would be dispensable and we could dispense with them. Half the bore nowadays is having to go along with the pretense that they're human. You must be my grandfather. Splendid old man, patriarchal type. Well, he sees it as a matter of evolution. People are becoming superfluous, let's face it. And what do? Fall over backwards to keep them alive. Let them breed, finance their housing, produce objects for them to consume. Could anything be more fatuous when you take a good look at what they're like? I know I sound fascist and frightful and all that, but I'm only saying what all the perfectly decent people think and don't admit it, not even to themselves.
That's my darling.
Well, it's always interesting to strike an attitude. If I don't talk, I shall go to sleep. If I go to sleep, you'll be annoyed. And when you're annoyed, you don't talk.
Maybe we should all just give in and have a siesta.
Personally, I think the whole conversation is rather adolescent.
Carrera.
Well, I must say, I often wonder why one makes the effort to be sociable at all. Yakety, yakety. It's pleasant when you know people well enough to allow yourself the luxury of silence, don't you think?
And do you know us well enough, Robin?
He knows me.
We used to play charades when I was a child. One could always rely on charades.
Who's this? All right then, who is it?
Nicholas.
Nicholas doesn't smoke.
That was just to make it harder.
It's easy to be cruel.
Oh, you're so bloody solemn. You take yourself so seriously. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
He isn't coming. I know he isn't coming.
Of course he is. Why shouldn't he? I didn't mean it, Biddy.
Why did you say it then?
You know I'm not cruel.
Do I?
Don't you?
I don't know.
But I'm not, though.
Sorry.
Maybe I'll make the tea.
I wish you would. I'm dying.
Cheer up, Biddy. If he wasn't coming, he'd phone. Rather an interesting chap, Nicholas.
Now, don't start being nice to me, Ian.
No, I'm not, I assure you. No. I took to him straight away. When was it? Oh, the night I was taking Christine to Covent Garden, and Nicholas was taking you... Where was he taking you?
To the Pushkin Society.
Oh, that's right, Pushkin Society. Not my line of country at all, I'm afraid.
No, it isn't Nicholas's either. It's just that there's an old man there who, like Nicholas, likes to watch.
What gay times you two do have together.
I'll go and help Sue.
Some women do have a tedious emotional life.
Biddy's sweet, but she's gullible.
How?
I gather you have dark suspicions about the boyfriend then.
I've only met him once.
But you have your doubts.
Don't quite see you in loco parentis, darling.
I just took an instinctive dislike to him, that's all.
So did Sue. I wouldn't go that far myself. He reminds me of a boy I knew at boarding school. Something coarse. He hardly ever talked, and one always wondered what he was thinking. When people are as reticent as that, it's almost arrogance. They need taking down a peg. We certainly had some fun with the silent Cyril. Well, I like people to be open, gregarious.
Personally, I don't give a damn what Nicholas is like, but if she's going to start bringing him round here very often...
Hello. Nicholas, it's Biddy. I began to think you weren't coming. Oh, you silly. Well, we'll start tea without you then. Yes, I do, honestly. Well, come soon. Yes, bye. Bye. It was Nicholas. He was reading his paper on the bus and he got all the way to the terminus before he realised. He's crazy. Well, now you stay here and we'll bring the tea out.
She's got it badly.
I hope to God I was never like that.
You weren't with me, at any rate.
Did you want me to be, or were you disappointed?
Not at all. I like hard women.
Thank you.
Now, don't pretend to be offended. You're utterly without feelings of any kind, which is why you and I get on. If either of us dropped dead tomorrow, the other would simply look for someone else. We prefer it that way, don't we? It's a kind of fastidiousness.
Oh, now, really?
Are you shocked?
I wouldn't say shocked.
Then what would you say? You'll have to be quick, or I shall put you down as shocked.
Everyone experiences feeling.
And then I'm a liar.
No.
Then? You, of course, have feelings about Sue.
Yes, well, of course I do.
What's it like?
Take no notice of him, Robin. He plays this game. It's his clever thing.
A house in Henley. By the river. Swans at the bottom of the garden.
Anything wrong with the idea?
Oh, not at all. Even sounds quite elegant. The nubile Sue bustling about. Summer days on the lawns. Summer nights. Little jazz, few couples swaying on the terrace. I like women's backs, you know. I like those black Italian dresses with narrow shoulder straps and no back. Oh, I can see you leading quite an Antonioni sort of life down there in Henley.
Him? He bores me to death.
Sue got a nice back. Got a very nice front.
I think we won't discuss Sue if you don't mind.
Poor Robin.